Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Betrayal at Krondor. In the last episode, we made our way to the town of Wolfram and encountered a wizard named Patris, who apparently conjured some illusions that we had to fight. That was pretty interesting, but it is disappointing that we didn't get anything out of it. He had a portrait, so maybe he'll be important later. What do we have here? Private residence. James knocked on the door. It seemed a bit larger than normal, and when the owner of the house answered, he could see why. The man stood as tall as Gorath, a revelation that man and Mordell both seemed to find unsettling. "My name is Murphy. How can I help you, gentlemen?" Staring up at the man, James replied with another question. "What can you tell us about Wolfram?" Shrugging his massive shoulders, Murphy looked off toward the other buildings of town. "Well, the Wolf's Teeth is just down the road if you're looking for some food and drink. They've got weapons at the Arms of Dala, and there used to be an inn, but it closed down. We use it for hangings now. That's my job." James swallowed a bit harder than he intended, then thanked the man for his information and left. Oh my. This is the tavern. Yep. Alright. What do we have here? Another private residence. And it is abandoned. Quality 12 shell. That is the second quality 12 shell we have. Fascinating, Captain. Another private residence. Knocking on the wooden door, James read the small, intricately carved sign that hung from it. The sign said, "Enter with joy in your hearts, that it may fill our house." A young woman answered his knock, and behind her, James could see several small children. Also visible was a man seated at a small table, scratching carefully out a piece of yellowed parchment with a quill pen. He glanced up as they entered. "Yes?" After the necessary introductions, the man told them he was a scribe, and that he was working on an important document for Baron Gabbett at Northwarden. Though he wouldn't show it to them, James guessed that it was an official account of the increased Mordell activity in the Northlands. They thanked the man, and left him to his work. Alright, that's the inn, but it has been abandoned. I think that's the barn that we saw. There's something coming up. Let's go check out the barn and see what's further along the road. James pushed open the door of the wooden barn. Inside he found stalls containing a standard mixture of animals. The floor of the barn was covered with a pungent mixture of hay, dust, and animal dung that made his eyes water. He was glad when they left a few minutes later. It's still ways ahead, and there's something down there. It's a really handy item. Ah, it's a stump. Alright. A quality 7 Mordell brooch. Alright, it's getting a little dark. Let's just camp. Actually, before I do that, what do I got? I got plenty. There we go. Ah, that's why I couldn't see anything, because there was a friggin' tree in my way. The tent was small, though he wasn't certain how many men it might hold. It was large enough to hold at least one person who wished them dead. This is our first tent, I think. The stench of death hung heavy about the small tent. James pulled back the entrance flap, his breath held tightly in his chest. The decomposing body of a man lay slumped in on the dirt floor amidst a variety of wood and metal tools. "Looks like a miner," James said quickly, trying not to breathe through his nose. "Let's see if there's anything in here we can use." Spoiled rations, 19 gold coins, and another quality 7 shovel. Well, that is kind of sad. It's probably killed by trolls, I guess, considering that seems to be an issue in the area. We got a farmhouse up ahead. And then something along the road up there. James's knock was greeted with a giggle. The door was pulled open cautiously from the inside by two women. They seemed very nervous and giggled frequently as they introduced themselves. "I'm Gina Halfgate, and this is my sister Andrea," the eldest began. Stifling another laugh, she continued, "I hope you haven't come to hear us play." "Play?" inquired James. "My sister and I used to play our violins for all the lonely soldiers passing through, but of late we haven't had many guests, and our instruments have gotten out of tune. Say, do you have a tuning fork? If you had a tuning fork, we'd be ever so grateful." Seeing James's doubtful expression, she said, "We don't have much money we could offer, but a soldier left behind some leather leggings we have no use for. Will you trade us a tuning fork for some leather leggings?" Kind of disappointed that I sold that other tuning fork oh so long ago. I believe this is part of a side quest. This will mean that I won't be able to send trolls away until I get another tuning fork, but as I believe this is part of a side quest, I will go ahead and say yes. James agreed to the trade. He pulled a silver-colored tuning fork from his pack and offered it to the sisters, who tittered excitedly. Together they retreated to a different part of the small house and returned a few minutes later with a leather pair of leggings. The trade completed, James thanked them for their hospitality and left. How are they not getting killed? By trolls and stuff? Leather leggings. No matter how he relaced them, the cured leather leggings wouldn't fit him. "Perhaps we can find someone to sell these to," James said as he slid them off. "I certainly won't be able to wear them." Give them to you, since you were the one who was holding the tuning fork. So yes, this is part of a side quest. Goroth stopped and bent down to examine something on the ground. After several seconds, he stood and began to speak. "There are wagon tracks on the ground here, but something's not right." I don't understand what that is entailing. Like, I have not made a connection between what that's actually entailing so far. Let's go ahead and bookmark, because we are going to get into a fight. We have a chest up there. Goroth's stealth has increased. A pebble tumbled down the cliff face. Alright, some trolls. Get away from Owen, you dinks. Right, I forgot to set things. Run away, Owen. Leave my wizard alone, you jerks. These guys have a lot of defense. There. Got one who's running away. Can I kill you? I don't think the lightning staff would do anything, and I don't know that I have anything else that I can really do. Can't get to that guy. Swing on that guy. Good damage there. Ow. Can we kill you? Right now, I'm just having Owen run and in hopes that he can get a spell off at some point. There we go. Down he goes. Interesting choice there. Is not doing that great. Yay, did some damage. There we go. Down he goes. Alright, let's cast a spell. Fetters of Rhyme. Or we can just kill him. Alright, Owen's defense ability has increased. That's good. Up to 55. Although, I think... Yeah, accuracy casting is down because he's injured. Scouting stealth. Alright, what do we got? Nothing. Yeah, quality 4 whetstone. And nothing. Alright, see if we can get a different angle on these bodies. Alright, doesn't look like there's anything on those bodies. What do we have here? Let's not do that. Let's, what time is it? It's midday. You know what? Let's go until morning. Get healed up. Scent of Sarg. Alright, it is trapped. Okay, there's a chance that you could pick it. And that was successful. I'll take that. We've got some restoratives. Who is low on restoratives? Well, no one is technically low on them. So that was just a regular chest, not a Mordell Wordlock chest. Seem to be fewer in this area than in other areas. You know what? I think I'm going to go back to Wolfram and sell that armor. Just because it's going to take up inventory space if I don't. Six sovereigns for it. I will sell that. That's fine. Alrighty, back onto the road we go. I wonder how long Scent of Sarg lasts. Oh, there it just expired. Seems to last about most of the day, I guess. James heard a sound. Knowing they were about to be attacked, he planted his feet firmly and waited while his stomach tied itself in knots. I did not look to see if they were actually there on the map. Good news is that they did not immediately move in to surround Owen. So So we have some space to maneuver. Let's get you off melee. Unless I actually decide to do that. Yeah, they are not going after Owen. I am really happy with that. Do we have anything else? That is pretty powerful. Actually, at this point, the skin of the dragon might be really good. Use some of that so he can cast again. Alright, let's see. What else do we have? Causes blade to do extra fire damage. Could be fun. How much is that? It's 10. You need some extra damage. Yeah, there we go. Extra damage. There we go. Ah, don't miss. Let's see, does that last for the whole fight? It looks like it does last for the whole fight. Good. Down he goes. Okay. Final rest doesn't do any good here. Creates an illusionary character. Don't think that I care about that right now. Line of sight, no damage variable. Summon sprites to attack an enemy. Why not? $79 damage. Can you take it? Holy cow, 79. Oh, nope, there he goes down. Good. I was gonna say. It's bad if that's not taking him out. Let's go ahead and despair their eyes a little bit, so hopefully they won't run. Is that going to take him out? I hope so. No. Yeah, Despair Thy Eyes is pretty powerful and pretty cheap, so pretty happy to go with that. Down he goes. Go ahead and recover your stuff. Move over that way. Really wish that Gorath would get another point of speed. James's strength has increased. Excellent. So, 22. Unfortunately, accuracy, like... There's no... Like, other than just getting into fights and hoping, there's no way to actually grind accuracy melee. And it's just so bad with it, James. I say at 60%, but still. Like, compared to, where I'd like it, it's pretty bad. And weapon craft didn't go up. And those over to you. I got some Silverthorn. Should there... Oh, I'm on the... Locked on the road. What did I bump into? Oh, there's a hill. Looking for, the fourth body. Ooh, it looks like there's some graves over there. Alright, there are two here. Okay, nothing there. Okay, waymarker. Northwest to Highcastle, southeast to Dimwood, northeast to Northwarden. So I believe Highcastle is up that way. So we do have something over there. Let's go take a look in that direction first. James's knock was answered by an old man whose wrinkled appearance stood in sharp contrast to the military straightness with which he carried his body. He introduced himself as Ealon, former swordmaster of Highcastle, and went on to regale them with stories of his victories and conquests through the years. They listened with great interest, especially when he talked of some of the more recent border skirmishes he had been made aware of. Finally, exhausted by his storytelling, the old man excused himself to take a nap. I was hoping he'd be, like a trainer. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Luke Midkiff. Soon the gods will know his name. Oops. You just rest a little bit. Ow. Ow. Keep resting. Could cast a spell, but... There we go. Taken care of. I think we got repositioned. Rubiel died in her favorite red dress. Ooh, a ruby. 63 quality. Bradford Ealon. He made his parents proud. Just a body. Constance Fromeyer. Had 12 kids. The 13th killed her. Just a body. Virginia Ekeland. Her husband never came home. Just a body. Lloyd Brenneman. His head was in the clouds. Just a body. Manic Ekeland. His company was killed in the Northlands. Just a body. Alright. Let's see. Am I healing? No. Let's go ahead and use some of this then. Get some healing. And we should probably head to Highcastle. Highcastle. Suppose I could have rested at an inn here. Pausing to catch his breath, James motioned up the road and said, "Highcastle, do you think we should pay a little visit?" "Yes." Ooh. So we can enter. We've got a shop. We've got a tavern. Rain slanted out of the sky, squiffing through the muddy pass. Squiffing? I think that was a way you use... Whatever. James stared miserably at the broken remnants of a bridge which had once spanned Highcastle Gorge. Blinking rain out of his eyes, he looked to Owen. "The bridge has been sabotaged," he spat. 3 days of this back to Highcastle, unless you have any other ideas." Owen scowled and shook his head. "I don't know what would be gained by turning back to the into the Northlands. I think it just as well the way is blocked." "I have my reasons," James shot back, angry that the trip had been a waste of time. "Let's head back to Highcastle." A grim reminder of the conflict between the Kingdom of the Isles and the nations of the North, Highcastle drew its name from the heavy stone fortifications built on a tor, which guarded the frontier town. In the distant north loomed Cutter's Gap, one of the few gaps in the wall of mountains, known as the Teeth of the World. Oh, I guess that's why it's Den Camp on the Teeth. Ranger's Hall. Despite the fact that the light was dim and pooled only in shallow corners, the mood within seemed cheerful as a tavern keeper animatedly related tales of mischief, reaping gales of laughter from the people who had most likely heard the story dozens of times. Let's do some barding. 60 sovereigns. Affair with a married woman. I seemed glad to have the company. Looking around nervously, the man appeared concerned his actions would be observed. After hesitating for a few minutes, he bent closer to whisper in James' ear, "What would you fellows know of the Guild of Assassins?" Chilled as if the blood in his veins had suddenly turned to ice, James regarded the man with a stern look. "Why, are you looking to have someone killed?" No, the man said, shaking his head emphatically. "I want to save someone, myself." "I see, and why would the Nighthawks be after you?" "I halted one of their assassinations not long ago," the man said. "When I saw 3 of them were about to pounce on a friend of mine, I called out and forced them into a straight fight. Right away, we ran through one assassin while his 2 friends fled, but the fellow we ran through got up again." James's eyes widened, knowing immediately what the man had faced. "They're called Black Slayers," he explained. "They're a Nighthawk that's nearly impossible to kill. If this assassin wanted you dead, why didn't he kill you then?" "I don't know, but he seemed to be concerned that one of us was a magician," the man replied. "I don't know what gave him that idea, but he shouted something about not going to his final rest and for us to keep the sorcerer away from him." We have had that before. Their company was welcomed reluctantly. In a generally foul mood, the man had a list of complaints about things in the kingdom, though he seemed most interested in venting his complaints about a shopkeeper he had recently visited. "Tried to saddle me with one of those Moradel blades," the man said, taking a sip from his ale cup. "You know, a lamprey." "What's wrong with using a lamprey?" James asked. "Too long," the man said. "You take a Moradel or an elf, like your friend here, it's a perfect length and balance for their reach, but for a human or Tsarani, damn hard to control the thing. Same thing's true of a Griefmaker or any other elven blade." "Such as?" James pressed. Immediately he sensed that his drinking companion was growing suspicious, and so he quickly amended his question. "Forgive me, but I've only recently purchased a shop of my own, and I don't know much about weapons. I want to make certain that I buy weapons my customers can use, not just pretty trinkets." Understandable." Putting down his cup, the man ticked off the names on his fingers as he recalled the other makes. "First off, I know a great sword is of elven manufacture, and I think a few goblin stickers are also made by the fair folk, though I couldn't be certain of it. Humans also seem to have a little difficulty using elven crossbows and armor for similar reasons, so that's another thing you might want to keep in mind before you stock." So someone said that the racial mod is about how quickly they get damaged, but this guy's pretty clearly indicating that the racial mod affects the user. Like, you know, if you're an elf, then it works better for you. I don't know. I don't know one way or the other at this point. What do you have? 8 gold for rations. How am I doing? Oh, that really drained my ration supply. Okay. So I need to buy a lot. Well, the Battleworks. Everywhere James looked, polished metal gleamed. As much a temple to war as any temple of Tith, the cramped shop offered a startling variety of weapons and armor. Well, I can buy a greatsword here. Purple packs. Chapel's armor and weapons. Restoratives. Two sovereigns and 6 royals for it. 70 sovereigns. Oh, this place seems like it's a really bad place to sell. Whatever, I've got plenty of money. No, I think I can get a better price elsewhere. 9 sovereigns and 8 royals, that's fine. So we're looking at 25 and 20. Racial mod is elf. Yeah, sure, whatever. Alright, so let's see how this compares. 36 and 52 to 25 and 10, but it is a really big boost to thrusting. Still, it is more damage. Wait, racial mod elf? I thought this was a racial mod human. Well, whatever. I will take that. So we are looking at 29 and 42. But this does have a blessed type on it right now, so I think I will stick with that. And we'll check out the castle itself next time. Let me go ahead and get this thing poisoned as long as I am here. And when we come back next time, we'll go check out the castle itself, see if anyone has anything to say to us. See you then, everyone.